we are in a very early adoption curve of the NFT. How many here own an NFT? Okay, so that's probably 99% of this audience right here. But the same is not really true outside of this venue. Maybe the next 100 million users don't really care about your NFT. I'm really proud to announce Andy here from Synchrony Lab, who will probably tell us why. Andy, please welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much. First of all, big shout out to Metaverse. You guys arranged a really awesome conference. Shout out Yangzi. Shout out all of you guys for being here. Yes, the next 100 million users don't actually care about your NFT. I use that just to get you guys in the room. The actual top of this is a little bit more boring and nuanced. I don't know if we can start the first. Oh, I can just do it like this. Oh, this is not the right one. No, this isn't the right one. Could we plug in my laptop? Florian? Yeah. Look at that. We just unplug that and plug it in over here. Oh boy. Can we see that? Yeah. All right, it's not exactly the way I planned it, but we'll make it work, all right? Anyway, my name's Andy Kay. I'm with Synchrony Labs. This is not financial advice, it's not medical advice, it's not legal advice, but there might be a little bit of spiritual advice at the end of this. The fact of the matter is, well, let me qualify, who I am and, why I'm here. So I actually got started in crypto in 2010. That's when I bought my first Bitcoin. Actually, my claim to shame is the first 150 Bitcoin I bought, I got scammed out of. But at the time, it was only worth about $200. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Now, though, it's a little bit difficult. Yeah, no, thank you. So I used to work at Berkshire Hathaway subsidiary. I also worked at a digital marketing agency. I started my own digital marketing agency with my brother, who's actually in the back there somewhere. I'm currently in the supply chain community, research and development, and entrepreneurial ventures. The most recent entrepreneurial venture that I've been part of is Synchrony Labs, or Synchrony.fi. It's a DeFi, DeFi, asset management protocol built on the Solana ecosystem. We do copy trading, composable indices, analytics, and we're also exploring utility around NFTs, right? So from an academic standpoint, fractionalization, lending, that sort of thing. So the real purpose of this is to kind of explain some of the case studies that we've come across in the Web 2 and Web 3 space and some of the opportunities that we've addressed or that we see in this space as well. And actually that's a picture of our NFT that we're launching at this event as well. So, so the outline of this is basically, where we are right now, where we're trying to go, how we're trying to get there, and then some sort of conclusions around these points. So unfortunately, where we are, especially in the context of DeFi, and I will get into the metaverse side of this, everything's down. I don't know if you can see the picture. Again, this isn't the ideal way to have this presentation, but this is from NFT NYC. You see, God hates NFTs, make fiat great again. We have all this meme-related stuff from Elon Musk, and when I talk to people about it who are actually genuinely interested in the space, they're like, well, it's a scam, right? Because of Celsius, because of Terra Luna, and what some of the last panelists said, and aptly so, is right now, weak hands and weak projects are getting shaken out, so that's a good thing. But we still need to modify some of our behavior around, the narrative, the technology, and the partnerships that we're creating around this. So where we're trying to go is really three things, right? Accessibility and inclusion, so bringing in the next 100 million users, which are not currently Web3 native or crypto natives. We want transparency and security, right? And I think what is most pertinent to the metaverse is ownership and extending our digital identity. This is really, really important. When I talk to people about NFTs, they're like, well, it's just a JPEG. But if you're looking at it as an extension of your digital identity, how valuable is that to all of you? How valuable is your Instagram or your Facebook or any of these things? Maybe you're not a KOL, but it's still important for you to have those things, and people still put money into that. So the value there is something that we're trying to build around. So there's 3 ways we're trying to get there. You know, we have technology, we have the narrative, and we have partnerships. The technology currently is by Web3 for Web3. We're building these interfaces and these systems that are designed only for other users of crypto. My mom's not gonna, she's not gonna stake, and she's not gonna try and get an LP token. She's not gonna get an NFT. She's actually banned my brother and I from talking about NFTs when we're visiting her for a holiday. So she's quite sick of it. You know, so we have this technology that's kind of misaligned, right? Because we're building for the wrong, we're in an echo chamber, right? We're building for the wrong people. We have this narrative, so the marketing, using third parties or the way that you're even talking about yourself on your site or in these sorts of conferences, things like that. And then the partnerships, right? You know, we partner with other projects. We raised last year. We have a bunch of VCs. We made a lot of mistakes. So a lot of this is around the mistakes that I've made personally, that we've made as a company, you know, and we're trying to modify as we go forward. And I think, you know, just to highlight that this isn't unique to Web3, but it's very pronounced here. I just found this thing on Reddit a couple of weeks ago, and it's a guy asking for refunds on stocks because they didn't understand how it works. Right? So there's an education component to this as well, and it's not unique to Web3. So I broke up what we need to do, the we here, into 4 categories. And again, this is a self-aware thing. Like, I know there's a lot of memes here, and we're trying to get away from that, but you know, since we're all here for the metaverse and we're still early adopters, I still think it applies. So we have users, institutions, VCs, and marketers, and I put them in the same category because a lot of times that's the only thing that VCs add to the equation. No offense, John. And builders like myself. And again, not legal, financial, medical advice. Do your own research. The first one is really simple. It's users. This isn't about users, right? Users need to do your own research. You need to do your own research. You need to understand where this is coming from. It's kind of a cop-out, but it's our responsibility as builders now to do that for them, right? To help educate them and guide them through this process so they're not losing their shirts, and they're going to help promote this thing. That's weird. So institutions. Institutions are not VCs. They're not necessarily other projects. They are Web2 companies that are trying to break into the Web3 space. And one of the problems that I see here is people are just trying to add blockchain to their pitch deck to get more money. Or they're just, let's make a token, let's make an NFT. Why? You know what I mean? So I've got this case study when I was working at this Berkshire subsidiary. It was a shoe company, and I came back from South by Southwest. And I talked to the CEO. I was like, oh, Jim, you got to check it out. QR codes, this is, you know, 2012 or something like that. QR codes are really interesting. They're dynamic. You can do all this stuff with data. And he's like, oh yeah, we need to do that right now. And so what did he do? He put QR codes on every single shoe box for all the shoes coming out. It was a tremendous amount of money that I wasted. It was definitely a failure, but it's just like he was asking the wrong questions about it. And I think that we also are suffering from these same issues. We're not asking, is this going to help your fundamental business? Is distributed systems going to benefit you in any way? Do you need a token? Probably not. You know what I mean? You probably don't need a token. You probably don't need some of these things. Fundamentally, we want to ask the question, is it better, cheaper, faster? If it is, then cool. So I'm not, again, I do like, I'm a supply chain nerd. So some of my friends over at this company, Origin Trail, they have a token as well. It's called the Track token, but they have Walmart, they have Amazon, and they have a large pharmaceutical company that I'm not at liberty to discuss on their as clients for them. And I was talking to the CEO. I was like, Brandon, how did you get these people on your table? How do you get these people? How are you selling them your technology when everybody hates Web3? You know, I can't even get him into this supply chain conference at Harvard because they're like, oh well, I don't understand what they're doing. And so his answer to me was so simple. He's like, they don't know it's blockchain, right? So if reframing it in the way that it's just like, you don't know it's blockchain, but it's better, faster, cheaper, that's where we want to come from. So let's talk about VCs. This is a pain point for me. We raised last year. It was an extremely stressful and kind of soul-sucking experience because, well, $33 billion got deployed last year in capital from VCs into the crypto industry. $33 billion. That's a significant amount of money. You know, we actually got 4.2 million of that, and it was a painful experience, honestly, because a lot of these VCs are in it for one thing. They're going to sell you the moon. They're going to be like, we can do this. We can set all these partnerships up. Don't worry, we got you. We got you. As soon as the ink's dry, they disappear. And they're just there. They're getting your tokens. They're selling them. They're dumping them. So the question I have for VCs, and this isn't me just trying to hit on VCs. We have a bunch of really fantastic VCs in our cap table. It's ethical profit. You know, if you invest in a company and you make your 10x off the 10% that you get released on TGE, and the company you invested in dies, you don't have much of a future left. If you're investing in things that, yes, you're making money, right? That's the fundamental driver for VCs. You're trying to make money. I'm not saying don't make money. I'm saying make money ethically. Like, it's like Amazon versus WeWork, right? People make money off WeWork, right? But Amazon's a much more stable long-term investment. So, you know, the term that one of the advisors to my brother and I uses a lot is long-term greedy. Right? So let's be long-term greedy here. Let's be sort of ethical in terms of the way that we're addressing these things, because that's very important. And I think VCs should not look at, you know, fads. They should look at the technology and teams fundamentally. I think that's the most important thing, is the technology and teams. I'll invest in a team. Like, I also have gotten into some SaaS, and I also run the marketing side of things. So I have like a little bit of a perspective of all of this, but we invest in teams and technology first, right? You know, it is what is going on underneath the hood. Are they guys who are going to grind, or are they going to give up at their first little bit of friction, right? And the last question I want to ask is, do you need it on your cap table? Do you need this project on your cap table? And as a project, what strategic advantage are they going to provide to you, right? It's not like money. I hate to say this. Money's free, or it was at least last year while we were raising. It's not about that anymore. It's money plus the other added values. And I mean, do more than marketing. Just gonna put it like that. Marketers. So I did work at a digital marketing agency. My brother actually runs a Web3 digital marketing agency. You guys should check it out. He's gonna be speaking this afternoon on the master stage as well. So that's fun. But when I was working at this marketing agency, there's a line that we used again and again and again. 50% of my marketing budget is wasted. I just don't know which half. Right, so you as potential marketers, I don't know if anybody in here is actually a marketer or not, but you've got to ask yourself, like, what are you trying to accomplish marketing for these people? Because there's a ton of marketers out there that are like, we're going to get this KOL on, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we're going to pump your token price, because that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to pump your token price. You are not your token. You know what I mean? You know, like the wind moon. It's classic. That's classic. I told you, it's pretty memey over here. You stop by the booth, I'll give you a little Lambo. I'm not joking. So the thing here, some of these, what we've discovered from talking to a lot of marketers is there is like a 50% drop off as a project. So I'm a project and I'm hiring you as a marketer. There's a 50% drop off in the first 3 months, and it's 85 plus when you get 6 months out. Marketing is the first thing to go. And unfortunately, marketing right now is focused on this sort of cookie cutter, you know, quick token price pump, and then it dumps, right? Because people are trying to get their money out of it. So this speaks to a little bit of the narrative. It's just like, don't be in here to speculate on price. Be in here because you believe in the technology. And you know, when I worked in fashion, you know, we wanted the full price customers. I want the Japanese customers who are going to pay full price every time because they're brand loyal and because they're not trying to commoditize your business. And so that's what we need to look for collectively as marketers as well. So this is the most important part for me, because I am a builder fundamentally. First is, you know, build to last. There's a great book by Jim Collins with the same title. You know, you want, build to last, borrow, and then build for your mom. Build to last, you need to build these things around regulation, right? We're worried about regulation coming up. I have a DeFi protocol. We need to be concerned about the language that we use around it if we were giving financial advice, all these things. You need to build it beyond what you see right now. Anybody can make a quick buck, but if you're here for the long haul, we need to totally reevaluate the way that we're addressing how we build this technology. You know, and a lot of people, they go with the social media growth route. You build it, you have these people on there. All you need is the users first, the rest is gravy. No, it needs to be the other way around. build utility first, then get the users. I know it's hard to do because the money isn't in that direction, but I mean, you know, this industry is getting mature, and it's about time we need to start pivoting a little bit. You know, and build what people need. You know, people don't really need a lot of the things that are being built right now. I think that's, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. That's the end of that point. So borrow. This is actually one of my favorite things. You know, we're here because we're built on the shoulders of giants, right? So what's your core business? Like we are Synchrony is a DeFi asset management and analytics platform first. We're not a social media platform. You know, we're not an NFT marketplace. So let's borrow those things from other people, right? We've partnered with this company called Beopal, and they have all the social media tools that we need, right? They have the tooling for us to implement that over there. You know, fork it if you got it. There's a tremendous, especially if you're on Ethereum, there's a tremendous amount of code readily available for you to just take and repurpose so you can go and focus on what's really important first. And so I'll give you another, again, I was in fashion and footwear for a long time, so I'll give you an example. So Nike has this shoe called Flyknit, and it's a additive manufacturing process where they knit the upper for the shoe, and you know, it's reduction in waste. It's you can do some really interesting things on the material side. They spent 5 years and millions of dollars patenting this software, bringing these knitting machines into shoe factories, and figuring out how to like get this, you know, wrapped onto the last. They went the wrong direction. What I did, well, it wasn't really me, it was my dad's suggestion. I went to a knitting factory and had them knit the uppers. So instead of 5 years and $5 million, it was 2 weeks and $1,200 to get our ballet flat with a knitted upper, you know, implemented. So there are easy ways and there are hard ways to go about doing this. So I really am a big fan of borrowing. The last and probably most important thing is build for your mom. You know, we're talking about the next 100 million users here. They're not crypto natives. I'm going to say this. People here are going to say this a lot. They're not crypto natives. You need to build familiar Web2 experiences for them. They need to not know it's blockchain. They need to not know it's crypto, right? Like in DeFi, it's so frustrating. Like, okay, in order to get this, in order for me to be a liquidity locus, right, I'm going to go and I'm going to buy these 2 separate assets. I'm going to take it over here, going to get this LP token, going to take that, I'm going to stake it over here. Why? You know what I mean? Just give me one button to click. Like if I want to participate in this thing, get it as close to no clicks as possible. And well, also build for mobile. Again, we are not optimized for mobile exactly. So, you know, do as I say, not as I do. And like, and you know, something I also say in the context of DeFi, but I think this applies pretty strongly in Metaverse as well. Users don't care what chain you're on. They just want their money to work harder for them, right? So like these same lessons can be applied at scale and over time in these different, you know, different contexts. So the conclusions, and this is where I'll tap into some of the spiritual advice. You know, it's not the smartest people in this industry who make it. It's the most resilient. Like if you're a builder, you're gonna fail. If you're a marketer, you're gonna have pieces that don't fly. It's not the smartest people, it's the most resilient. Can you get back up and keep doing it? If you can, then you're gonna be fine. That's, I mean, fundamentally, mentally, that's you know what I really believe here. There's 30,000 hours of YouTube content uploaded every hour. There is more information being created at every moment for us to digest in our entire lifetime. So we are constantly fighting this battle for attention. It's just something to be very mindful of. You know, there's this two sides to it, right? You will have to do some of this meme stuff. I had a ton of memes and stuff in here, right? I gotta hold your attention, but on the other side, you actually have to provide the utility. Right now, I feel like it's all frosting, no cake. You know, and again, utility and purpose first, guys. The last thing that I'll sort of leave off with is, you know, technological evolution has outpaced biological evolution and regulation. We have an ethical responsibility as builders for the future of this entire industry. We are doing things right now that aren't illegal yet. You know what I mean? So like we need to think about things more ethically. Otherwise, we're going to have more Celsius, more Terra Luna, more Three Arrows Capitals. We're going to have more of these incidents popping up. And I think this is a really probably one of the most important sort of meta points here is, you know, we have an ethical responsibility as builders, as leading edge, bleeding edge folks in this space, you know, for the future of this industry and the world, honestly. Thanks, guys. My name's Andy K. Feel free to stop by. We have a booth over there. we're launching our NFT at this event. We also have shirts that say "Ask me about my NFT." So stop by, say hi. I also do have like little Lambos that, you know, if you chat with me, I'll give you a Lambo. So it's like win Lambo, win Moon. But yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate it.